Hi everyone, Katie here. Welcome back to another layout video. Today I am combining both my February 2023 SCT sampler with my spring cleaning challenge, and I have a bunch of like Valentine's little ephemera and sticker bits that I'm trying to use up, as well as use my SCT sampler for the month, well, at this point for last month. Along with a photo from our Valentine's dinner that I had with my husband. So both of these things I think really lend themselves nicely to each other because the SCT sampler had a lot of Valentine and like love type things to go along with them, so it really worked out nicely. I pick out a few pieces that I think I might want to use from the sampler, as well as an old piece of Echo Park paper to go with the spring cleaning there. And then actually I grab another piece of really old Echo Park paper. So that really works out that I am able to use both of those and put them together in a nice, what I think kind of ends up as a nice little Valentine style layout, but also one that's a little bit different, from my normal layouts. Sometimes I feel like I have everything's pretty much the same with like slightly different supplies, which there's nothing wrong with that because I like my regular layouts, but it's always fun to do something a little different. So I'm using the 6x6 page from the sampler. I bring out some heart washi tape that I've had forever and put that around the back. I decided to kind of off-center my photo from that little 6x6 page because I think, at least right now, I'm thinking I want to use that left side, the open space, as a small journaling area, but I'm also trying to kind of leave it open, to see what happens in here. And I apologize for the lighting. That is just how the light comes in my craft room in the early morning. I've got a nice big window in here, which is amazing, but it doesn't lend itself to the best lighting for videos. So, sorry. I do cut apart these little tags. So I have a bunch of the little tab tags, and they always come double-sided, I guess, so that you could use them, I don't know, in something that you would see both sides of. But since I'm not going to see both sides of them, I always cut them in half. So then it's like having two things to use. And I know that sounds really silly as I'm trying to like use up my stash. But, I want to use what I have, but I don't want to be wasteful, I could definitely use that again. And I have some other layouts coming up, like Valentine's Day layouts, that I could use that stuff on too. Now, at first, I really want to use the little Bella Boulevard Bella Pop that came with the SCT sampler. I think they're super cute. And I'm like, this is a picture of my husband and a rainbow. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and the rainbow does make it on the page, but I'm like, it just didn't feel like it fit super well at the time. So I'm using one of the cards that came with the sampler. It says, "All of me loves all of you." I thought that was appropriate there, and I want to die cut it out, so it's not just a big blank card. And after, going through a few of my circle, oval, those kind of dies, I choose this one from Scrapbook.com that is perfect because it's got little hearts going around the outside. It's almost like a little doily here, and I tape it down. I'm using my Cuttlebug die cut machine, and I've got a magic mat in there. Well, I've noticed that the magic mat has a lot more give than the, plates do, so things are not like cutting apart all the way, including this, which actually works out better because I did not realize that the cute little outer ring was going to be a separate piece. I thought it just cut out, as one large, doily, I suppose, rather than, the thin border outline and it punches out the middle. So thankfully, mine actually didn't cut all the way apart, so I just kind of keep it together and stick it down there on my layout. Now, I did have these cute little flower embellishments that came in the sampler as well. I'm like, I'm just going to put all these together. They're not perfect. They're not even from the same collection, but that's okay. I'm trying to get unstuck in, everything has to match. Everything has to be from the same collection. Like, no, it does not. Use your stuff how you want to use your stuff. And that's what I'm going with. And if it's not the most coordinated, with all those, same matching colors and stuff, so be it. That's okay. It's my layout, and I get to decide, how I want it to be. I do put 2 little banners up here in the top. Those were extra pieces from my, ephemera for Valentine's Day. Works out great. Some of them I'm popping up here on foam. Some of them I'm laying flat. I like that. I think it makes everything just a little bit more interesting to look at, and just, kind of adds texture, and I don't know, I like it better. So then once I get those stuck down here, I start to work on my title. You can see I've actually got my die from the sampler. It says beautiful. That was the word this month, or in February. It's now March, so oops, a little late. Beautiful was the word, and normally that probably wouldn't have been my go-to word for this kind of layout, but I'm trying to kind of stretch myself, use things that maybe I wouldn't normally do. And also it has a cool stamp set that has like words that go with beautiful. So like collect beautiful moments, beautiful friends, beautiful life. Life is beautiful. You are beautiful. Beautiful inside and out. So the stamps are really awesome. So I know I'm going to use that after I get my journaling down. I just read a little bit about how we went to a local Mexican restaurant that was really close to our house, but we had never been there before. While I was there, I ordered a margarita, and they asked if I wanted a small or a medium. So, of course, I said I wanted a medium. Well, this is like the biggest margarita I've ever had in my life. So that is pictured there, which I thought was pretty funny. So definitely journal worthy. Now, again, using my magic mat, the background cuts out just fine. But when I go to actually cut out the word beautiful, that's a pretty intricate die with some small pieces. I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, man, these SCT dies are just kind of low quality. That's what I thought. But I was wrong. I'll throw that out there. Wrong. Disclaimer. They work great if you use them properly. So it didn't cut out fully the first time. So I'm, sitting there with my X-Acto knife trying to punch everything out until it dawns on me that maybe it is because I am using the magic mat, which I know has a little bit more give, and maybe it's not the die, maybe it's the extra mat in there. So maybe I should try using my original 2 plates. Now, one of my plates is looking a little worse for the wear, and if you have a manual die cut machine, you know exactly what I mean. But lo and behold, when I use my 2 plates that are stiff and rigid, it cuts out beautifully. Haha. And then, I put my title together and go to finish up my layout at a different time of day. You can tell it's much better lighting in here now. Now I stamped the word moments underneath there so I can make the title beautiful moments. And then it has this cute little heart die. Those are teeny tiny little clusters of hearts that I add to the little tag at the top. I think it just, highlights it a little more so it doesn't get so lost on the page. And I'm sticking down my title with my Herma mounting squares. I have a lot of this adhesive, and you've probably heard me say before that that's one of the things I'm trying to spring clean as well, is use up that adhesive in particular, because I'm ready for something new. It's not my favorite. I mean, mounting squares are great. They are cost effective, but I'm thinking the ATG is what is in my future next. But I still have a long way to go on this, so it'll be a while. Now, I finally add that Bella Pop there and just go with it. Yes, it's a rainbow. Nothing's wrong with that. I like it. And, I just really like the 3-dimensionality of it. And it finishes off my layout nicely. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.